everyone. My name is Kristen and welcome to my channel. So a little bit about me is that I am currently a senior in high school and I just finished my college process, and because of that I decided that I wanted to make a video about it and kind of give all of my decisions. This is a very realistic video. I know we see those that are like crazy and like, wow, you got into every single school that you applied to. I did not. So it is what it is. The only downside though is that I do not have any reactions to my decisions, so I kind of dropped the ball there, but that's beside the point. I'm just gonna go through the list of all the schools I applied to, tell you guys the decisions, and then at the end, I'll tell you where I am deciding to go. So without further ado, let's get started. I forgot I had this trusty dusty mic here, so I will be using this for the remainder of the video. If you see me looking down, that's because I'm looking at my iPad, which has my Common App on it. I'm literally going to go straight down the list on the Common App and tell you guys, what the decision was and my reaction to said decision, or kind of how I felt. And so, like I said, very realistic, and we'll see. So first off, we have Duke University. I applied to Duke regular decision and I was rejected from Duke. Did not get in there. I honestly was not very torn up about it at all because they did not have my major, even remotely. So I want to major in journalism with hopes of becoming a sports broadcaster or a sports journalist, and Duke didn't have any type of communications or anything like that, so I wasn't really sad necessarily about getting rejected from Duke. I highly doubt that I would have gone there even if I did get in. So next up we have the Georgia Institute of Technology, or Georgia Tech. I did get into Georgia Tech. I was accepted early action under the LMC major, so Literature, Media, and Communication. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, so this was, a really awesome decision to get back and hear that I could, stay in the area and go to an amazing school such as Georgia Tech. Although I was a little iffy about going into a liberal arts major at a technology school or technical school, and it's not a technical school because it's a college, but like a school of technology. And so I was a little iffy about that, but really excited about that decision. Next, we have Howard University. I was accepted to Howard early action, and I received a $20,000 scholarship from them, which was awesome. They also have a really good journalism program. And so I was really excited about this decision. Howard is a very big college in the African American community. Everyone's heard of it. It's top tier. And so it was just a great decision to get back. So I was definitely excited about that one. And I also love Washington, D.C. So Howard in general was a really good decision to get back. That was an acceptance. Okay. Next, we have NYU, or New York University. I actually applied to NYU on the very last day of the deadline. I was not planning on applying to NYU at all. It was never on my list initially. And then they sent an email like, you have one more day to apply, do it now. And the application fee was free. That's why I applied. Did not get into NYU, which is okay. Like I said, it was never on my initial list, so I wasn't beat up about it. Although they do have a great journalism program, so it would have been a good decision regardless, but I did get denied from NYU. Next, we have Northwestern University. I got accepted into Northwestern. That was a bit of a surprise to me. It's an incredible school, the best journalism program in the country, and it was my dream school for a long time. I kind of initially in the process, that was where I wanted to go. It's I want to do journalism at Northwestern University. That's what I want to do. And so for a while, that was my dream school. So when I got in, I was ecstatic, super excited, very surprised though. But an incredible, decision to get back that was an acceptance. So I was really, really excited about this one. Next, we have, I applied to Northwestern, regular decision, by the way. Next, we have Stanford University. I applied to Stanford, regular decision as well, although I kind of wish I did the restrictive early action so I could have heard back from them sooner. But I did not get into Stanford. Surprise, surprise. I mean, it is such a hard school to get into. If I got into Stanford, I probably would have gone to Stanford just because it's Stanford. But, it wasn't a surprise to not get in. It has like a 4% acceptance rate, maybe lower. So kind of a Hail Mary, hoping for the best. Did not get in, but it is what it is. It's okay. I'm not too beat up about it, but I probably would have gone had I gotten in. Okay, next we have Syracuse. I applied to Syracuse fairly late as well. They also have a really, really good journalism program, especially sports journalism. So I applied regular decision for Syracuse, and I got waitlisted from Syracuse, which was a bit of a surprise given that I had gotten into some more selective schools in Syracuse, but I was applying for the most competitive program, so I'm assuming that kind of made that decision for me, and so I was waitlisted. I chose not to stay on the wait list, so not going to Syracuse. Spoiler alert. Next, we have the University of Alabama. Now, this school has been very near to my heart. I've been an Alabama fan since I was born. My parents are both from Alabama, and my dad went to the University of Alabama for law school, and so he has season tickets. I've been going to games since I was like 4 or 5 years old, so it was really dear to my heart, and I did get into Alabama, and I actually got a full ride from them, which was amazing to hear, amazing to feel like, wow, like I, got into the school that I've been around so long, like I can actually go there as a student instead of as a fan. So this was a great decision to get back. So next we have Tulane. So Tulane is a bit of an anomaly because I applied to Tulane early action and it was deferred, but I chose not to keep my application in because I realized that, Tulane has an interesting way of accepting students. And if you don't get in early action and you go to regular decision, the acceptance rate there is very, very low, like almost 1%, because they want you to apply for early decision too. And so I was like, I don't even think I want to put myself in that position because I didn't think I was going to go to Tulane to begin with. So I rescinded my application from Tulane. So technically I didn't get denied, I just got deferred, but I didn't get accepted either. So it was kind of it was just there. Next, we have the University of Georgia, or UGA. I did get into UGA early action. That was a pretty big decision. I think it may have been the first one that I had heard back from when it wasn't a school on a rolling basis. And so UGA is pretty hard to get into as a student in Georgia because everyone in Georgia for the most part applies there. And so it was really nice to get in early action and kind of be settled knowing that I can go to a really good school because I had gotten in. So that was a really nice decision to get back. It was very competitive. People were asking about it at school, and a lot of people, that was where they wanted to go. That was like their dream school since they were little. And so it was nice knowing that, I was wanted at UGA. And that they accepted me early action. So that was a great decision to get back as well. And then next we have the University of Missouri, like the main one, like Mizzou. I think it's in Columbia, Missouri, if I'm not mistaken. It's not St. Louis, but I think it's Columbia. And I did get into University of Missouri. They did rolling admission, so it wasn't like a set date when I got it. And there wasn't like early action, early regular decision, anything like that. It was just rolling. And so I did get in there, and I did get some money from them. They also have a great journalism program. I don't think it's talked about as much as some other schools, such as UGA. UGA also has a great journalism program, but it was nice to get that one back as well. Even though I don't know much about Missouri, I've never been, but it was a nice, it's always nice to get acceptances. Okay, next we have the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, or UNC, and I did get into UNC early action, and I actually got assured enrollment into the School of Journalism at UNC. They have an incredible program as well, so that was really exciting. That was one of the ones that I was a little worried about. It's pretty competitive, especially out of state. And so I did want to hear a yes back from them, and thankfully I did. So I was very excited about UNC. When I had gotten the decision, I hadn't been to UNC yet. I hadn't been to the campus or anything. And it was one of the few schools that I hadn't visited. And so after I gotten in, I was like, well, I need to go and see, if that may be something that I would actually, somewhere I'd want to go. But just when I got the decision, I didn't actually know much about it or what it looked like or anything like that. But still very exciting nonetheless. Okay, two more. Next we have the University of Southern California, or USC. And I did get into USC. I got into their School of Journalism as well. I think Annenberg, their School of Journalism. And so I applied regular decision. I think they may have actually had early action, and I just did not apply in time. I think that was just a me thing. But very excited to hear back from USC. Obviously an incredible school, just in general, but also pretty hard to get into out of state. And it was a great decision to hear back from. They gave me some really cool stickers. I actually may go get those to show you because they were really nice. But yeah, I was very excited to hear back from USC and hear that it was a yes. It was one of my later decisions. I wasn't necessarily expecting it as much, but once I got in, it was like, yes, let's go, score, And then finally, we have Vanderbilt University. Unfortunately, I did not get into Vandy. I applied regular decision, and honestly, this was a school that I was debating applying early decision. I did not apply early decision anywhere, obviously, but I was actually thinking about doing that for Vandy. That's how much I liked it when I went to visit, and kind of how good of a school it was. Loved Nashville as a whole, and so it was disappointing to get a no from Vanderbilt because it was a school that I was like very, very nervous and anxious to hear from. Because I think there's a good chance that I would have gone if I had gotten in. Although the reason why I didn't ED to Vanderbilt was because they only have communications and not journalism. And so I didn't know if it made sense for me to go to a school, an early decision to a school that didn't necessarily have my program or what specifically I wanted to major in, which is why I didn't early decision there. And so that is my main list of colleges I applied to. And I say main list because these are the ones I really cared about, I should say, although I cared about all of the decisions I got back. But I kind of got a little antsy, and I kind of did the most, not gonna lie to you, and just kind of started applying to, I don't want to say random schools, but schools that I had never heard of, never, would consider going to, because I had my main list that I knew that if I got, I was going to one of these schools. And so this organization called Niche has a program called direct enrollment or direct admissions. And so they partner with some schools, and you make a profile with Niche with your GPA, your test scores, things like that. And then the schools see it, and then they'll admit you immediately. If you say yes, I want to be admitted, and then they'll look at your profile, and then they'll admit you immediately. And then you have to send them your transcript to confirm that your GPA was correct. And then once they see that, you're in. I got acceptance letters from some of these schools, and so I got a little antsy waiting for decisions, and just decided to apply to a few of those direct admission schools, just to say that I'm going to college. Like, I don't know why I was so paranoid. Like, I knew I was going to go somewhere. Even if it wasn't, a top school or something like that. Like, I knew I was going somewhere, but I just needed that reassurance. Like, okay, I'm going to college. Like, I'm in somewhere. And kind of, it calmed me down a little bit, even though I knew I wasn't actually going to go to those schools. But including those, I applied to probably like 4 or 5 of those direct admissions, and I got into those schools. So that was good. Like Drake University, that was one of them. I think that was the first one I got back. So shout out to you, Drake University. Wingate. I literally applied to Wingate. They sent me an email saying you could apply like really quickly, and I literally applied in the email. Like, it was a little survey that you took in the email. And so I applied there, and then I got an email back. They're like, okay, you're in. So that as well. And then I decided to apply for the Common Black app, which is essentially like the Common App, where you have one application and it sends it to all the schools that are like partnered with it. So the Common Black app is all HBCUs, which are historically Black colleges and universities. And so they have, some great schools that are part of the Common Black app, and a bunch of them, and it's only $20, and you get to apply to all of the schools. I'm not sure how many it is exactly. I may put it up here. But it's a bunch of schools, and you just apply, and then they send it out, and then you hear back from the schools fairly quickly, I would say. And so I applied to those schools, but then I didn't realize that after you applied in the Common Black app, you'd have to also apply individually to those schools, like through their own portal. And so then I got kind of lazy, because I was like, well, I kind of did this just because I was antsy and wasn't being patient. And so I got lazy, and I was like, I actually don't think that I want to fill out all of these applications, because I was kind of done by then with applications. So I did technically apply to Common Black app, but I didn't see anything through. I don't think I actually actively applied to any of those schools in the Common Black app. But I definitely think that people should, apply for the Common Black app. It's only $20, and it's a bunch of schools, bunch of great schools. You can, get a really good education at any of them. So I definitely recommend doing that if you haven't heard of it before, because it's not too hard. It just could get time consuming at times. So now that I've gone through all of the schools that I've applied to and all of my decisions, now I will let you guys know where I will be attending in the fall. So, drum roll please. I will be attending University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill in the fall, with my assured enrollment into the Hussman School of Journalism. So I am super excited about my decision. When I went on the tour after I had gotten in, I loved Chapel Hill, loved the college, loved the, college town, Franklin Street. You will find me there in the fall for sure. It was just a great vibe that I got from there. I got to meet one of the professors of journalism. He was kind enough to talk with me a little bit about kind of what to expect, and he seemed very nice and just welcoming, I would say, to me. And, that all in itself was enough for me to be like, yes, this is where I want to go. And I would say it was definitely a hard decision. I did have a lot of great options to choose from. And I had actually already committed. I hadn't sent in my enrollment deposit, but I had said I was going to UNC, like it was in my bio, like I was ready. And then I had gotten into Northwestern, and then it got a little dicey, because I was like, oh my gosh, like, do I need to go to Northwestern? Like, it's such a great school. Like, is that where I need to be? And then I reached out to some people there, and, talked to a bunch of people about it, talked to my parents about it. And I just came to the decision that I wanted to stick with UNC. Like, that's where I wanted to be. Obviously, USC was also an incredible option. And that really came down to, I didn't really want to move to California. It's really far away from Georgia. And a lot farther than North Carolina is, and even Chicago as well, or Illinois. And so that's really what it came down to. It was also really hard to pass up, Georgia Tech, UGA, also incredible schools. It was a great, this great position to be in. Sorry. It was a great position to be in, but a hard one at that, because I'm so indecisive. I never know what I want in a certain given moment. But I made my decision. I will be attending UNC in the fall, and I will definitely be making videos about it as well. If you guys want to know, my stats, or like what I wrote about, my personal statement, things like that, I'd be happy to make a video about it later. But I think that would be a little too much for the video today. But yes, go Heels, go Tar Heels. I'm so excited to be attending UNC. And now that this crazy college process is over, I can breathe a little bit. But it's also crazy that it is over. I can't believe that I'm going to college this year. I'm graduating high school this year. And that, I'm basically done. It's crazy. You really only apply to college once unless you go to graduate school or transfer. And so the fact that it's like, wow, I did it, I'm through, it's pretty surreal, but exciting nonetheless. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more, let me know in the comments. I would be happy to make some more videos. I think I want to start getting a little more active here, and just, talking about life, talking about what's going on, and hopefully it continues to go smoothly. I'm also in the IB. I can make some IB content too, give you the deets, but if not, that is all for me. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.